Let's go. I want to start from the beginning, man. When did your folks move to LA? When did they touch down in LA?
Well, just give it
Put
my
it. You
give
can
it
pull
my,
the mic to you.
Yeah, giving my roots background from Kansas City to Texas. So I'm rooted from KC to Texas. That's why I'm deep in Texas already, because I'm rooted to Texas.
Okay.
And so, given my background history of that, we were descended from Texas and Kansas City, which is my mother and father. My daddy was a war veteran, in the Army. So he fought in Vietnam, and he this is where I get a lot of my lessons from home first. So by the time I hit the streets, I was already prepared, so to say. I was advanced over a lot of my peers during them days, which I'll take us to some of those things. But just being rooted in it, from Kansas City, Missouri, born in Jackson, Kansas City. You know what I mean? Shout out to KC, home front, hometown. Born in Missouri, and then from Missouri, my daddy decided, his first journey, true story, and my uncle told me this story because I was a kid, I was a baby, but my pops, he was real, I guess this is where I get a lot of this shit from. So my daddy was real venturous, and he'd just do some shit to spare the moment. So this ninja, he done jumped on his motorcycle with his guitar and drove from Kansas City all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas. And so he down here, and this time's the Indians. There was some Indians involved, so he playing his guitar in front of this store, this liquor store, and whatnot, and just that tide of knowing that experience of how my pops used to do this stuff on, just on his own at the spare of the moment as a young kid, and just hearing that story coming from my uncle, and not really going into the depths of it. But anyway, just the moral of the story was, he did things on his own and how he wanted to do it. So he instilled that into his kids. So me learning those things, it rubbed off on me, of course. So I instilled it in my sons. But I coming from Missouri, born and raised in Missouri, the first part of my life as a kid. And then from there, my daddy decided, like I say, all right, my next venture is I'm going to California. But I'm going to California to plant seeds and build my homes and my life and raise my family. So that's where we ended up in Cali. We went through an unfortunate situation where we started out for us coming out of Missouri and coming out of poverty in Kansas City, you know what I mean, and moving to California, which we feel as young kids at that age, 10 and 9, me and my siblings, thinking that, oh shit, we moving it on up like the Jeffersons sort of say. So when we get to Cali, my father, he came first, and my daddy, he bought this section off of 103rd and Broadway. So between 103rd and 104th and Broadway, it was a lot of available property back then. This was a lot of people was descending to Cali in 69, 70, early 70s. This was way before the gang structure even came about. This is during our Black Panther days, our Black Panther years. Our parents being raised, coming out of high schools and colleges, and doing the Black Panther and then the progression days as far as just poverty all over the world. And this is what was pushing during that time, the Black Panthers. So we took that move, we took that leap in 1969 to 70, the early 70s. So when we got here in 70, my daddy, he
And you was 10? You was 10 at that time?
No, I wasn't 10.
Like
I was
8?
You trying to
No.
You trying to dibble for me to get my exact number?
No. I just want to paint the picture that you from Kansas City to LA at 8 years old, whatever, 8, 9, 10.
Right. But
so,
I was in that age range.
Okay.
10, 11, right? And so we get here, and my dad had bought this, like I said, this corner, and this corner had a duplex on it. So we owned all that whole corner in the duplex. Just so happened it was a lot across the street, a vacant lot. He snatched that and grabbed that too. Later on, to build that into a diesel lot for diesels, to be able to come to do mechanical and fix tires and things of that nature. So my father had a fucking vision. 1 year that somehow we ended up bellying up, and my daddy ended up going bankrupt. So we had already had relatives. My relative Cecil had already moved out here in 68, 69, one of my daddy's cousins. And so they were already in the Nixon. Then I had some cousins in the jungles already. These are the late 60s and 70s. So I was already rooted to the jungles and the Nixon. So I used to go over there and spend nights and play with the kids in the jungles and Nixon back in those days. So not knowing that my lifestyle, I would end up in either one of these situations, either the jungles or the Nixon. We ended up in the Nixon, which I had other relatives who was in the jungles. So I ended up moving in the Nixon, and at the end of the 70, you know what I mean, the early 70s. So we ended up in the Nixon, the Lion's Den, and it was a transformation and a transition of my whole entire life, man, from that point on.
Yeah.
So taking us from that 1970 era and moving into the Nickerson Garden, it took my life to a whole different formation because that wasn't the plan. The plan wasn't to become OG Bonnie Hunter BJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The plan was I was supposed to be this famous sports fanatic, man. You know, football and baseball. That was my plan because that's what I did.
And you was good. You was good at it back then.
I was super at it. I was great at it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the plan, you know. But unfortunately, the streets called me for a whole different ball game, man. You know,
Yeah.
and the devil was involved too, of course. You know, but that's where I ended up. So just taking us on down memory lane of that. You know, like I say, transitioning from Kansas City at that time. Then my father go bankrupt. And we end up moving. So his story, not his story, but his playback to us as a family was, because we used to have family meetings. My daddy would call us all in, sit us down, and we young. We sitting there looking at this nigga. He might have a dashiki on, salt and pepper afro. Nigga might have a machete on his side, fofo right here, something. This nigga, he talking to us. And me, I'm mesmerized with this shit because I love my father, man, to a fullest. And Dr. Minchie speaks 6 different languages fluently. You don't know what it feel like, dude, to go in a restaurant in 1968, 69, 70, 67, and yo, daddy, how to some shit. You be like, but it's fluent.
Yeah.
But you just like, damn, but this my daddy, nigga. This my father.
Yeah.
Beat your daddy ass. Yeah, whoop your daddy ass. It's my daddy.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up, bro. You feel me? So, and just seeing that, man, it was just influence to us as siblings. So, like I said, we sit down and have our family meetings, and we sitting there looking at Dad, and he talking, and then here come my mama with her beautiful self, a queen, Afrocentric, thick, big old hips, beautiful dimples is where I get the dimples from. It's a trademark in our family, you know what I mean, all our siblings. So we had a combination of love, bro. So I grew up really with 2 biological parents that was mine. I know stepmama, stepdaddy, dope fiend daddy, dope fiend parents. So I'm not no crazy nigga on the internet got a story and say, oh, well, I'm crazy because my parents did it to me because they was dope fiend. No, if my parents was alive and I took, which I had already did before their passing, bless their souls, rest in peace, I love them. But if my parents were still here today, I don't even think I can say that I probably would have experienced majority vest of the stuff that I end up experiencing becoming a known bounty hunter. I think my daddy would have evaporated a lot of that shit.
Thank you for tapping in with us. In order to see more clips like this, check out this video here or check out this one here.